Welcome to Giant Ability TV.
The happenings in Nigeria today are not limited in impact only to Nigeria. They are what the entire world is knowledgeable about, and in their glare, the eyes of the entire world are on Nigeria because of the strategic position the country occupies as the largest economy and democracy in Africa, as well as the most populous black nation in the world. To this end, the case of the country is like the popular saying that he who lives in a glass house must not throw stones. I, for one, and in my opinion, as an individual, I do not see Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the authentic president of Nigeria. This is because until it is over, it cannot be said to be over. The Nigerian judiciary is the mouthpiece of God and the good people of Nigeria, and with regard to who qualifies to be the legitimate and God-chosen president of Nigeria, the eyes of the world are on the Nigerian judiciary and holding its verdict, and who is the right and lawful person to occupy the number one position of the country for too long is a disservice to Nigerians. For justice delayed is justice denied.
Our judiciary is in a crisis of perception, but also based on the experiences that Nigerians have had. It will not be surprising if ordinary Nigerians think that the only thing the Supreme Court does is to look at election petitions. Because we're looking up to the Supreme Court to help extend the frontiers of democracy and human freedoms. But very often, those institutions with Nigerians perceive that they've now become so severely, compromised. That has consequences for democracy and how we see the process of democratization. We also have a raft of agitations across the country. We have seen the worst face of corruption in Nigeria.
Things and events are fast unfolding in Nigeria as we speak. One of them is the screening of the ministerial nominees of the purported president of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. The spectacle of what took place in the National Assembly by the senators, who ordinarily are supposed to be representing the interests of Nigerians, fits in for description as a charade and jamboree, to say the least. Most of the nominees, who happen to be past governors, ministers, and members of the House of Assembly, leave much to be desired, as majority of them, especially the former governors, are people of questionable character. It is unimaginable and unthinkable to find the names of people like the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, on the nomination list. This was a governor during whose tenure Kaduna State suffered the most crises of insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping. Recall also his religious statement that went viral on the social media, where he was advocating for the Muslim ticket and making derogatory statements against people of the other religion, particularly the Christians. The southern Kaduna people suffered the greatest marginalization and injustice under the watch of Malam Nasir El-Rufai between 2015 and 2022. It is on record also that there was a case of financial impropriety to the tune of about 30 billion against him that is still pending before Justice Binta Yanko of the Abuja High Court as we speak. While El-Rufai was being screened, a senator openly declared that he had written a strong petition against him regarding insecurity and religious intolerance while he was in office. But the Senate president waived the accusation. With all these against El-Rufai, Mr. Tinubu still considered him as the best candidate and nominee from Kaduna to be a minister. Think of Mr. Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State. While being screened, all Wike could point to as his achievement in his 2-term period as governor of Rivers State was the construction of 12 flyovers in Port Harcourt.
One of you, Mr. President, will attest to the fact that you have even come to Rivers State to commission projects. Eminent Nigerians in both, it does not matter which affiliation, whether you're a politician, whether you're not a politician, whether you belong to Party A or you belong to Party B, all have come to Rivers State to commission projects. And I can tell you, what is important, there's no thing like magic. What is important is what passion do you have? What commitment do you love your people? And I can say, as a governor, then, in my 4 years in the second tenure, I've never left my state and slept outside my state. I've made sure that I'm in my state to take the challenges, to solve the problems of my people. And that's why when I was living like a hero. They escorted me home, where women brought out their wrappers and laid on the ground and said, "March on the wrapper. Welcome our son. You have done very, very well."
Recall also that the British Broadcasting Corporation BBC chose Rivers State as one of the states where it conducted an investigation regarding irregularities that took place in the conduct of the February 25, 2023 presidential elections, and the results proved that it was Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, that won the presidential elections in Rivers State. Wike did everything possible, including sacrificing the precious lives of the people of Rivers State, to rig the presidential elections in favor of Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the APC. The same he did for his successor, who is now the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. What Tinubu did by nominating Wike as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was paying him back for rigging elections for him. Another controversial figure is Mr. Festus Keyamo, the man who speaks from the two sides of his mouth, a lawyer and a senior advocate of Nigeria, who over the years has thrown professionalism, decorum and restraint into the dustbin just because of the mundane things of life. It is unfortunate that all these are the best that Ahmed Bola Tinubu has for Nigeria. The other governors that made the list as nominees are all failures and parasites who have nothing to offer to Nigerians and Nigeria as a country. One is not surprised with the choice made by Bola Ahmed Tinubu because birds of the same feathers flock together. The most painful part of it all is the choice of Bosun Tijani, who is believed to be representing the youth of Nigeria and from Ogun State. It was with great dismay that one watched and listened to this young man on television apologizing to the senators whom he had on so many occasions criticized by his tweets. The senators stood in his way and demanded apologies from him for all that he had said against them.
For all these allegations. But one thing you'll be proud of as well is that the passion that led me to those mistakes has also given me the opportunity to contribute to the development of this country. So I want to profusely apologize to everyone in this hall, including anyone anywhere in Nigeria that may have been offended about everything I said. I ask that you please, in the process of accepting my apology, that you look at the undertone of everything I've said. I didn't say it to spite. I said it out of frustration and love. So please accept my sincere apology, please.
One would have expected this young man to stand his ground and choose even to forfeit the ministerial appointment for posterity's sake. Believe me, he would have been a hero, not only to the Nigerian youth, but to all well-meaning Nigerians home and abroad. George Washington, the former president of the United States of America, once said that if to please the people, we offer what we ourselves disapprove, how can we afterward defend our work? Let us raise the standards to which the wise and the honest can repair. This is very instructive, but unfortunately, we don't have leaders in Nigeria who can put justice before generosity. Nigerians are known for easily putting up with erroneous complacency, and this accounts for why people, especially so-called leaders and politicians, take advantage of us. From all indications, all perceptive Nigerians must have seen by now that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an opportunist who has nothing upstairs. Even to select people of integrity who can help him to take Nigeria in the right direction is also a problem. Who, for God's sake, advised him to use the ECOWAS to cut the electricity supply to Niger Republic? Has he forgotten the affinity that has existed for centuries between Nigeria and Niger Republic? If Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ignorant of history, at least he should have thought of the reason why the former president Muhammadu Buhari was contemplating going to live in Niger Republic. By the singular acts of cutting the electricity supply from Nigeria to Niger, some important personalities in the northern part of Nigeria have been offended. His threat to go into war with Niger Republic using the ECOWAS as a cover-up will backfire, for it is going to be an ill wind that blows neither Nigeria, the other ECOWAS member countries, nor Niger Republic no good. To the 10th Senate, who carried out the screening of the nominees of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have disappointed Nigerians. We are not surprised that all you did was to ask nominees who are APC members to take a bow and go, because most of you, especially the APC members who are in the Senate, got there through fraudulent elections. Why should one be surprised and expect too much from a Senate where Mr. Godswill Akpabio is president? Nigerians have not forgotten how he defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress Party. Recall that when he was about to be arrested and prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over the billions of naira stolen from Akwa Ibom State when he was governor, he ran to meet the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, in London, where he was receiving treatment. He was told that the only way to have his sin pardoned was by defecting to APC. The rest is now history. You cannot expect justice from people like him who came into power by fraudulent means. The Senate of Nigeria today, headed by people like Akpabio, is a shipwreck, to say the least. Never let the irregularities of your own life be the subject of your discourse, for men detest in others those vices which they cherished in themselves. Charles Pullman. This admonition is only for the wise who are like good liars with good memories. With the Senate, rather than detest what they cherished in themselves, cherish in others what they cherish in themselves and what Nigerians detest and hate in them. Nigerians should not be complacent and allow things to go on like this. If care is not taken, the country Nigeria would be mortgaged and become slaves to the Western countries. America seems to be encouraging Nigeria to go to war in respect of the coup d'etat in Niger Republic. This is hypocrisy at its best. Any country that will look the other way when leaders in African countries who claim to be in a democracy have misbehaving by treating their subjects as slaves and denying their subjects the dividend of democracy is not qualified and not invited to interfere in the affairs of the people. America should realize that Niger Republic is a neighbor to Nigeria, and setting them against themselves is, to say the least, is wicked, and this is unacceptable. Allow Africans to solve their problems in their own ways. Niger Republic is a sovereign country, and being poor economically and otherwise is not an excuse and a genuine reason to undermine their sovereignty. On a final note, to Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are not yet confirmed by the judiciary and Nigerians as a legitimate president of the country. Take things easy, for except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen are awake but in vain. It is vain for you to wake up early and sit up late, still eating the bread of sorrows. God is the one who promotes one and brings another down. You cannot by your efforts and your subtlety become what God has not made you. The same law that you are advocating and applying against Niger Republic, the same you will need to abide by when it comes after you. The world is waiting and watching. You can run away from others and pretend to be what you're not, but you cannot run away from yourself. If Nigeria has a future that we look unto, let this admonition apply. Build on resolve and not upon regrets the structure of the future. Waste no tears upon the blotted record of lost years, but turn the leaf and smile. Hardly E. Stevenson. It is never your turn until God says it is. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you for watching.